basically, jousting is a very simple sport. You've got two knights, 5.5 odd stone of armour on a horse. The horse moves at about 25-30 miles an hour. Come together, you've got big sticks called lances, hit each other in the face or in the heart, and depending on how well you hit it, you get lots of points for shattering your lance. This type of jousting, this historical jousting that we do here at the Armouries, and actually it's all over the world these days, can trace its roots back to about 1973. Hi, my name's Andy Deane, been at the Royal Armouries nearly 30 odd years, and my job is to make sure everyone has a fun time, safe time jousting. And 1973, lances similar to this were developed, where we could have an extra sort of 2.5 foot, 3 feet of balsa with a coronal end on. And that was invented for an advert in the 1970s. And we kind of used it since, because real jousting in the 15th century, 16th century, it was one long piece of wood, ash, whatever it might be. And it would break conveniently, if you made a good break, in two places generally. For our modern audiences, having the balsa, you don't get hit any less. However, you get a brilliant spray of balsa everywhere. So it's like a firework going off. It's like an explosion. So for modern audiences, we love these lances, and hopefully we put on a good show of shattering those lances, smashing those lances.
In a shortened story, I essentially started when I got back into riding. I came here for a jousting job. I didn't get it, but I got into film and TV instead, because I found Mark Atkinson, who is our horsemaster on this job. He put me on Robin Hood, and then it kind of snowballed from there, and eventually I started doing stunt shows here. And Andy, who is our marshal this weekend, he actually put me in tin in exchange for me teaching him how to vault onto a horse. And now I own the tin that he put me in. And I've been around the world jousting, so it's a really interesting kind of transition how I've ended up jousting in the end anyway, because I didn't think I actually would.
I'm jousting now from probably more than 20 years now. I'm starting in a horse show. I meet a guy in armor on a horse and say, "Oh, what's that?" And then it starts like that. And they start to practice for jousting. Then I follow this group, and after, it's 20 years ago, 20 years after, I continue to do it. And jousting everywhere, international tournament. I travel a lot with my armor, in suitcase, in a plane, and then new horses, and it's good fun.
For me, it's a competitive outlet that I kind of miss. I used to show jump a lot, so every weekend as I was growing up until I was about 18, I was out show jumping, and that was my competitive thing. Some people do rugby, some people go and do gymnastics. I had show jumping. It was a competitive outlet for me that I was missing. So for me, getting back in and having the stress of competition and the excitement of competition really has kind of worked.
Jousting is kind of control. It's timing control, it's a horsemanship. There is a lot of things to do in a very short time. And most of the time is control yourself, control the horses, control the timing.
Adjusting to wearing 5 stone of armour on you is a big thing. Having your helm on for the first time, that really does bring your vision right in. You've got about that much to look through. And then just kind of getting used to being slightly more restrictive. After that, everything kind of just starts to level out a bit. Sometimes you get new things. So I've got new pieces of kit. I've got this bishop's mantle, which I'm not used to having stuff around my neck quite so tight, but it offers more protection around my neck and around my collarbone. I've got a new shield this time, so I'm just getting that adjusted. And yeah, just things like that really start to challenge you.
If the armour's working really well for you, then it's like being in a padded steel box and someone takes a massive lump hammer to it. You're disorientated for a moment because someone just smashed it to pieces, but you're nice and safe inside because the steel is dissipated, the padding is dissipated at all. So it disorientates you when you're hit absolutely cleanly, plush, all the way down to the metal coronel end. So if I get my lance back here, you imagine you've got your breaking end. This hits the targe, this snaps, and then all of this basically keeps driving into the targe and turning into powder. And it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. Then it gets to this bit. There is no more balsa, and then you get hit by the metal bit. And that is the full impact of horse, 5 stone of armour, the 12-13 stone of rider, and the 30 miles an hour, all going through a sort of 2-inch diameter. So when you get hit like that, your world rocks.
You're just waiting, and sometimes it can be like really quick, like handing you a lance and off you go. But then other times you're just like, you're waiting for it to come. You're like, come on. And they hand you the lance, and all of a sudden it's gone like that. You literally, you raise your hand in the air, you get your horse down the tilt rail. Once you're in there, it's like 3 strides, you hit 3 strides and you're out. So for me, it happens all too quickly a lot of the time. And sometimes you come out and you go, what just happened? You have no idea. So yeah.
When you start first of all, you have to check yourself. I am good. Close tightly my helmet, fixed. Then arms okay, I feel good. My wings are just good. Then, okay, I present myself not far from I should start. Grab my lance, check my lance, good position, the balance of the lance, if there was some wind or not. Align yourself to see your opponent if he's ready or not. If your opponent is ready, just signal. When you signal, just you go. And when you start, you leave the horse encountering a little bit, then you start to balance yourself and just grab the lance under you and then go to target. Then there is a kind of step like that. This is from my personal view. Which is, if you do that all the time, try to be accurate on all this sequence, you're good on the target anytime.
Then you give your lance to your squire, turn around, counter back down, get another lance, do it all again. And then you do it again and again until you have maxed out, become a champion, or you go and sit in a corner and cry, 1 on the 2.